Thank you for those of you attending virtually. The program we use is called Zoom, and we just want to give a quick overview. On the bottom left of your screen, you will see icons for your audio and video. The microphone is to mute or unmute your audio. For this event, all Zoom participants will be muted by the meeting host. The video icon is used to turn on or off your video. This is the video of yourself. If you find that your video or audio is lagging or freezing, you can mute your video, turning off your camera to stop using as much bandwidth. On the bottom of your computer screen are some extra features. The first icon represents a person, and if clicked on, shows the names of those in virtual attendance on the right-hand side of your screen. The speech bubble icon represents the chat feature, and if clicked, opens a chat window. In the To field, you can select from the drop-down menu. You can choose to see if everyone sees your message. You can pick a direct person to send or directly to the speaker. You can type questions or comments in the chat. Questions will be passed on to the speaker during the Q&A portion of our event. The next icon is for screen sharing. Only speakers and presenters will be using this function. The smiley face icon is for reactions. Under this icon, there is a raise your hand feature, which we will not be using currently at this time. On the top right of your screen, you will see the View button. Speaker View will focus on just the presenter and their screen or presentation. Gallery View will let you see all the participants evenly. The Full Screen function will let you maximize your screen, and you can click the View button again to exit full screen. Once the presentation starts, your view options will change. We ask that for Catena, the standard view be kept, as you will then be able to see the screen share. Side-by-side view and swap video shared screen will not be helpful for this presentation. Side-by-side gallery view will let you see the shared screen and all the participants in attendance virtually. For the Q&A portion of our event, April will be asking the presenter questions left in the chat. We ask that those participants that are in person please approach the microphone over here with your questions, and everyone else feel free to put them in the chat whenever you like. Thanks and have a lovely evening.
Hi everyone, my name is April and I am the programming librarian at Demmer Library here in Three Lakes, and I want to welcome you to the Spring Catena series here at the Three Lakes Center for the Arts. Catena, I always start off everyone by explaining where Catena comes from. It is a word that my director found that means a series or a chain of homilies or homonyms, and she felt it really tied in with the series and the chain of lakes here in Three Lakes, and we like to use it to highlight the past, present, and future of the area. I want to thank Three Lakes Center for the Arts for making this really neat hybrid experience where we have people in person and virtually. For those of you in virtual, you are more than welcome to ask questions via the chat or make comments at any time during the conversation. For those of you here in the building, we ask that when the Q&A portion comes up, if you could leave your seat and come to this microphone right over here and ask the questions so that everyone, even in the virtual world, can also experience the questions and what we have to say. So, I think that I got all the good necessary stuff out of the way, so I want to say that we are continuing with our series with the Forward Three Lakes team and the implementation teams that are working with them and for them and through them. So first up tonight is Leadership Group, and that would be John Stauner.
Thank you, April. And thank you to the Demmer Library and to the Three Lakes Center for the Arts for this opportunity tonight. We're delighted to be here to talk about two of our working groups in the implementation. and I am the facilitator for the Leadership Working Group. The first thing I'd like to do is introduce our team on the Leadership Working Group. It's Erica Brewster, Kurt Drum, Don Meter, Ron Ribby, Colette Sorgel, Mary Sawinski, and Gary Williams. These people have given their time and their talent, and it's been a pleasure to work with them, and I want to thank them for their commitment to this process as we move the ball along. The mission of our working group is to build the capacity for leadership in our community. We firmly believe that in any community, success is directly related to the community's ability to produce leaders. And since Forward Three Lakes is all about the future, we think that developing leaders needs to be a priority. We accomplish this mission through three main strategies. First, we seek to increase individual engagement in our community. Whether this is in the public sector, in government, or in the school system, or whether it's through a nonprofit, we are looking for ways to increase community participation and engagement. We want to get people involved, and that is the goal. Secondly, we seek to increase communication and collaboration between organizations. We succeed as a community when we work together. And the Forward Three Lakes is, by definition, a collaboration. It's groups and individuals coming together to accomplish something. So this is really a core value into what we're trying to do. And third, we are seeking to provide educational opportunities in leadership to establish a foundation for future success. We are seeking multiple avenues to accomplish this, and we want to increase our collective leadership skill set for the community. So that's our mission, and that's the tactics that we're taking in order to accomplish it. The summary report of the Three Lakes design team came out in January. And what the design team did is they held a mirror up to the community. They let us look at ourselves. The summary report shared some big ideas on leadership as it pertains to Three Lakes, and I think that is a good place to start our conversation this evening about leadership. There are really three big ideas in the report. Number one, we have an abundance of leaders. My own personal experience with Three Lakes began in 1986. The cranberry business brought me here. And the one thing that impressed me, one of the things that impressed me so much was the talent that we have in this community. The talents in terms of people and the talent in terms of organization. You can think of a lot of examples, and I'd like to share a few of those with you. Number one, the Three Eagle Trail. This was a vision to use an old railroad right-of-way to connect Three Lakes to Eagle River with a multi-use trail. It was through leadership that this vision became reality. Another example, the leadership as exhibited in the renovation of the Demmer Library a few years back gave us a facility that is going to serve the community here for years to come. Right now, it's hard to imagine our community without the new Demmer in it. The Writer Center is a wonderful asset for our community, and it is a legacy of Edith Writer. It was her leadership and the continuing leadership of her foundation that enriches our community. And a more recent addition, the Three Lakes Dog Park. Again, this was a result of a dedicated group of individuals whose hard work and persistence gave the town a brand new asset and a brand new place to take our fur friends. Other examples. We have a system of winter recreational trails in our community that are maintained by a dedicated group, Three Lakes Brule River Trails. This doesn't happen by accident. This is basically the foundation of our winter economy here, and it takes organization and it takes leadership in order to pull this off, and they do an excellent job. The fact that we have a community foundation in our small town is quite remarkable in itself. The community foundation provides a vehicle to build charitable capital for future generations in our community. And last, as an example of leadership, I want to mention the work of the Three Lakes Waterfront Association in protecting and advocating for our beautiful chain of lakes. If you haven't had a chance to look at their spring flyer that's out, it deals with the geology, basic geology of our area. Look through that pamphlet, that flyer, you're going to see all the activities that the Waterfront Association does. And they're a hugely important organization in our town. I could go on with this for a long time, and I'm sure you could too. We could spend the rest of the evening listing examples of leadership in our community. When we make this big statement that we have an abundance of leaders in our community, this is an understatement. It is one of the strengths of our community, and we need to capitalize on that. Number two, the second big idea dealt with what we have in common. The chain of lakes is the template on which this community is built. We all live in some fashion on the water. And let me explain that. It doesn't matter whether you live here full-time year-round or you're here seasonally. It doesn't matter whether your family goes back 5 generations or you just discovered this place last summer during the pandemic. What is important is what we share, and that is the love of the natural setting in which we are placed here in this community, and the love of the unique aspects that make Three Lakes what it is. So it doesn't matter if you have a dock on the chain, on the water, or not. There are things that we hold in common, and these are the things that hold us together. Very big idea. And lastly, number 3 in the summary report was the idea that collaboration is the key to success. We've just talked about many examples of leadership. Think about our past successes in our community. Think about things we have done really well. I'm going to give you a few examples here too. The skating pond this past winter. If you were walking downtown in Jingle Mingle or happened to be driving through on a Friday night and you saw the Christmas trees lit up and you saw kids skating on that pond, it was something out of a Norman Rockwell painting. This didn't happen by accident. This was a collaboration, a coming together of Jackie Walker, the owner of the OV lot, the town of Three Lakes, the Three Lakes Park Commission, the Three Lakes Chamber, the Lions Club, the Dog Park, and numerous other organizations and individuals. It really added to the life of the community this past winter. Another example of collaboration within our community happened just earlier this month, the annual Easter egg hunt. My understanding is 185 kids were there this year, and this is the 28th year that this has taken place. Again, this is a great example of a collaboration. Lions Club was involved in this, the Dog Park, Red Suspenders, and the Women's Club are just to name a few. Thank you to all those who helped put these things on. Another example, the welcome sign as you come in on Highway 45 from the south. This was put up last year and was a joint project between the town of Three Lakes and the Community Foundation. I think it's an excellent example how the public world and the private world can come together to make something happen. This had been envisioned for many years, and we finally have a welcome sign coming into town now. And lastly, as examples for collaboration, I want to come back to the Three Eagle Trail. Three Eagle Trail was constructed in 2 phases in 2007 and 2013. This collaboration involved multiple government jurisdictions, it involved multiple landowners, numerous legal easements in order to get this thing put together, and a brand new nonprofit organization, the Three Eagle Trail Foundation, which is key to the future running of the trail. And this has been a valuable asset to both communities. So when we work together, we succeed. Now, back in December, when all of the working groups were starting to meet, we all kind of had the same challenge. Where do you start? We had the reveal in November, and we were getting in January the summer report, which was packed full of all sorts of information, all sorts of ideas. Where do you start in this whole process? So with the leadership group, what we did is we started to have a conversation about Three Lakes. What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? And where do we see opportunities? And from that analysis, we came up with some ideas on where we could maybe capitalize on some things. The first thing I'd like to talk about is leadership training for organizations. As I mentioned earlier, one of our strategies is to increase the leadership skill set of our community. It is the key to future success. Strong communities have strong civic and nonprofit organizations. We currently have a survey out to assess the need of our local organizations for leadership skills training. The survey assesses different areas, including internal organizational development, topics such as board development, membership retention, or maybe something as simple as writing a mission statement. There are external topics in the survey as well. Things like effective communication with the public, marketing who you are, and going out and getting grants and how effective grant writing can happen. And then, of course, there are leadership topics in here. Things like strategic planning and officer training. Again, to build strong organizations for a strong future. We highly encourage everyone to participate. You don't need to be an official representative of an organization to do so. If you are a stakeholder of Three Lakes, and I assume that by your presence here tonight you do qualify, and you see a need, we want to hear from you. The link is displayed on the screen above. It can also be found in the chat section tonight. You can copy it directly from there. It can be found on our Facebook page, and I can also email it to you, so you have options here. My email will be displayed at the end of our leadership segment, and feel free to shoot me an email. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to complete the survey. It's real quick. And we anticipate closing it in maybe about a week or so. We'll see how things go. And once we have certain topics that have risen to the top and look like they're strong priorities, our vision is to put together some mini clinics to address those needs. Camp Honey Rock here in Three Lakes, which is run by Wheaton College, has stepped up to offer facilities and expertise to assist in making this happen. Rob Ribby, their executive director, is a member of our working group, and as Rob said, the mission of Honey Rock is basically all about leadership development. That is what they do. And while they have not ventured into the local area with that mission, they are excited about the potential to do so, and we're excited about having them involved as a collaborator. Other possible collaborators include Nicolet College and UW Extension. So please stay tuned as this develops further. We're quite excited about what we're going to be able to put together here. One of our other current projects deals with economic development. We have facilitated conversations with community leaders on how best to approach economic development in Three Lakes. This is a complex topic, and that's an understatement. A common definition of economic development and the roles and responsibilities of key players are all being discussed. We are looking at how other communities are handling this issue, and our role as the leadership working group is basically to facilitate the conversation. So stay tuned for more updates on this one coming as well. We are looking for ways to encourage candidates for local public office. I recently spoke with several members of our town board, and they were lamenting the fact that most often candidates for a local office in our town run unopposed. That was the case in our election earlier this month. And serving on a board or a commission or a committee, whether at the town, at the school, or some other governmental entity, is a commitment of time and talent and service. Those who step forward deserve our thanks, and we need to seek ways to encourage this commitment, and we're looking for ways to do that. We've had a conversation with the UW Extension. They have offered programs in other communities along this line, and we're seeing how that would fit in our community. Youth engagement is something that is really a key goal for our working group. They are the future. They have the biggest stake in what we're talking about here, and we want to get our youth engaged. The Three Lakes High School this coming fall is offering a leadership development class, and we have been in contact with the instructor to explore any possible involvement that we could lend to this. And we'll see what comes out of that, but we're kind of excited that this is being offered in our community. A common community calendar has been identified as a need. Too often when somebody is looking for something, well, okay, what can I do tonight? You have to go to one place, or when is this meeting? You have to go to another place. The Three Lakes Chamber is currently redesigning their website, and a community calendar will be part of that new look. So we are working with the chamber staff as they proceed along on this project, but it's been identified as a need. And lastly, to complete the list of what we're currently working on, the Demmer Library is exploring book options for a possible book club centered on leadership. Erica Brewster, Rob Ribby, and Don Meeder are working on this project. If you have any suggestions on a good leadership book, we want to hear from you. If you're interested in participating in something like this, we would love to hear from you. And we think it can be a great addition as another way of talking about leadership in our community. Our meetings are always on Thursdays. We've been meeting every other Thursday. Our next meeting is scheduled for May 6th. That's next week. We are the early folks. If you looked at that list of members, most of us are boomers. There's one member on there that isn't. So most of us don't have any problems with the 7 a.m. meeting. Erica, you get the prize for being the person that puts up with us, and we thank you for that. So we would love to have you, if you're interested in any of those topics which I just described, come join us. If you have additional thoughts on how to increase the capacity for leadership in our town, we invite you to join us. Please do so. We're on Zoom. My email is up here. We'd be delighted to have you. We limit the meetings to 1 hour. Everybody has a workday that starts at 8 o'clock, and we are very punctual punctual about that. So with that, I will open up to any questions that may be from the group. Don't be shy.
One question being asked is about the town board and other board chair and chair positions. What ideas are you guys coming up with, or have you heard back about how you're going to encourage that involvement and get people to run for those positions? Oh,
Sure.
I should be taking this off because you can't hear me underneath my mask.
So the question was basically, how are we going to encourage people to run? We're looking at it with UW Extension. They have run classes in other communities in Wisconsin, and it basically is an educational process where, okay, let's set up a session where we talk about what it takes to run and what are the duties and what, basically, you know, what all has to happen. That is the first step. You know, basically trying to get people educated on what it would take, what the commitment would be. We can certainly, I know we've had, when we have had contested races in town, we've had candidate forums. Those things are very important as well. And, you know, in general, we're just trying to raise awareness, first of all. And, you know, if people step forward and have a desire, we're highly encouraging it. We're not being partisan in any way with this process.
Do any of these positions currently have position descriptions that people can find so that they know what they're getting into when they get into these positions, or is that part of what's being worked on?
I think that currently I'm not aware that it's described anywhere. Certainly the town has an excellent website which you can look through and see our ordinances, you see our comprehensive plan, see the different committees that are there. You can see some of the activities of what happens. When it comes to the actual functioning, a lot of that is covered in the Wisconsin state statutes, which is a pretty dry reading, and you know, it's part of the material that we want to prepare.
Gotcha. Let me check in with the chat quick.
Okay. Any questions from the audience here tonight?
How can we join the book club?
Aha. Well, I'll bounce that one right back at you. Would you prefer the Demmer be contacted directly? Yes. Okay, the heads of shakes are yes.
And I'm guessing you want that to go to Demmer@demmerlibrary.org. And
Excellent
we'll put
question.
that up somewhere.
Any other questions? Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about what we're doing in leadership. And April, I'll turn it back over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you, John. We appreciate it quite a bit. So this is the second part. Another implementation team then is the downtown implementation team. And for that, we will turn that over to Jackie Sharp.
Hello. I'm a little short. Hold on. Hello. My name is Jackie Sharp. As April said, I am the facilitator of the Downtown Working Group. I'm also a downtown business owner, so when it came time for the Forward Three Lakes team to decide who would facilitate what, I jumped at helping this downtown group. I'm also the associate director of the Chamber of Commerce after 2 years on the board there. So all of this is working well in my life right now. Can this show up on that screen? I'll read it like this. Downtown is more than a collection of businesses in one location. It is the place that represents a community's character, history, and values. The variety and quality of businesses and services reflect the vibrancy of the community and provides a source of identity and pride. As with the lakes, everyone has a responsibility to take care of downtown. Consider downtown as Three Lakes' front yard, a place that the community shares with its neighbors and visitors. So that is a quote directly from the summary report that was given to us from the design team. As John said, the design team first listened to us and then mirrored our ideas back to us. So as part of that design team process, there was a survey and there were focus groups. And out of those things came the idea that downtown is something we needed to be working on. During the focus groups, people were asked, what do you love about downtown? And as you can see, people love our sense of community. They love that we have an attractive and full service downtown. You can get everything from groceries to a realtor to a lawyer to a cup of coffee to a great meal. People love the unique character of our downtown. People love that it is quaint, and our downtown is pedestrian friendly. When asked, what do you hope to see in our downtown? The biggest thing that came up over and over is that people would like to see a vibrant downtown. People would like to see more restaurants and unique stores. They would like to see downtown connect to our surrounding natural areas, and they'd like to see more public gathering and green spaces. So after the fires in 2019 and the effects of COVID, it was clear that downtown is an area that needed work, and people are excited to join together to help make some of these big ideas happen. So the 4 big ideas from the design team that they gave back to us, you can see this is our current downtown versus the vintage picture from earlier. The big ideas that they gave us to help our front yard, downtown is our front yard. Activate storefront spaces, activate underused spaces, have artisan developments. As we stand here in the Center for the Arts, we are a community that has artists, so make that more known, make that, develop that within our community, and create stronger, safer connections. So the design team, as John said earlier, provided us with a video presentation in November, and then an expanded summary report this spring with ideas for how to accomplish these big ideas. Here is an image from that report. They put a lot of work. This design team, because of COVID, wasn't able to visit our downtown. So the things that these design and professionals were able to put together without setting foot in our town, they read our history, they did their research, they listened to the voices of year-round residents, seasonal residents, tourists, business owners, and many of our different community organizations. And then they gave us back those ideas visually, which was an amazing resource for us. If you'd like to see that full report or the video, you can go to our website and it will link you to both of those things. So this is just one idea that they gave us to help create more green space, more gathering space. This is a pop-up park. And again, all of these are ideas. So this is not necessarily going to happen. They're showing Star Wars there and a movie night in this park, if you look close. So this helps activate an underused space, and it also gives more green space and gathering spaces. So this is the kind of resource we were given from the design team when we started to meet as a group. So a group of us has been meeting since November. We had as many as 14 people. We have settled around 9. The downtown working group is made up of year-round residents, summer residents, and downtown business owners. So there are various stakeholders involved in how to make a more vibrant downtown Three Lakes. When we met as a group, we decided to form a mission and values to guide everything that we're doing. So we used the shared vision that we've talked about before, also available on our website if you'd like to see it, of what the design team heard from us that we would like to see here in Three Lakes in the next 10 to 20 years. So, Downtown Three Lakes Working Group is devoted to developing and growing a caring community with a vibrant downtown that promotes a high quality of life for residents and visitors alike. We value a vibrant downtown that attracts visitors and supports businesses. We value a spirit of hospitality towards all residents, seasonal and full-time alike. We value a downtown that encourages pedestrian exploration. And we value outdoor gathering places and green spaces where all are welcome to rest and to play. So once we sat, once we talked, once we made a mission and values, we decided it was time to get to work. So our first project involves wayfinding. If you look at this picture, you will see that is this Center for the Arts with a new sign outside that's not there yet. That's my drawing. So our plan is to have these signs, pedestrian wayfinding signs, with that vintage white arrow look that we all love that brings the nostalgia of Three Lakes. Those will start, for the starting point this summer, our goal is to have those in 4 places around downtown. They will be starting down at the Chamber, one here at the Center for the Arts, another one at West School Street, and down near the hardware store. So the goal for these signs is to direct pedestrians. We're not interested in directing traffic. You could be sitting downtown, you could be eating your Subway sandwich on a bench outside of Subway, and you may not have any idea, if you haven't been here before, that you could be eating that sandwich at the lake, or that you could be walking to a historical museum. It's just a block or 2 away, but you would have no idea, sitting on our downtown, that those things are within walking distance. So our goal with these signs is to encourage pedestrian exploration. We will not be pointing to businesses. These will be pointing to landmarks, things that will be permanent as can be here in town. Eventually, we do hope to expand outside of the downtown area, but for now, for this summer, our goal is to have these in just a few short weeks so that we can start directing pedestrians to explore outside of just our few blocks of Superior Street. So they will be a miniature version of the white arrow signs that you're used to seeing out on the road. They will be made by a local volunteer, and they will be, again, in those 4 places to help direct you outside of our downtown area to see what else there is that you can walk to. In addition to that, in the next few weeks, you'll be starting to see publicity about a design contest. So when the signs go up this summer, there will be an empty circle. There will be a space for a badge, and we are going to be holding a design contest that will be advertised in the school, through the Center for the Arts, and out to the general population that will allow you to turn your love of design, your love of Three Lakes, into a design that can go into a 3-inch circle on those signs, and then will also be developed into stickers and used in other merchandise in the future. So in the next few weeks, if you are interested in that, watch for another way to get involved and a way to be a part of these signs that will hopefully be in our downtown for generations to come. We also hope, probably not to this extent, but this was a cool vintage photo. We also hope to eventually expand our wayfinding outside of the downtown pedestrian-focused area. There are so many things in Three Lakes that, again, if you are just driving on one of our wooded roads, you may not know what you are missing and what you are driving right by or what you're very close to, because there may not be something to tell you that. So it probably won't be like the old Showboat sign, but we will hope to direct people outside of downtown in the future. Also on the horizon, we have a couple other upcoming smaller projects. We are working on a gateway mural at the edge of town. It's still very in preliminary stages, but we're hoping to put something on the side of the hardware store so that when you're coming in from the north, there is a piece of art that welcomes you that is related to Three Lakes. Again, we're working with local artists and business owners and building owners to work on that. We're very excited about it. In the report, there are some benches. We have benches in downtown. We'd like to add more, having that small green space, gathering space, someplace to sit and rest. We're hoping to work on some more memorial benches with a design theme in the near future. And then something that came up in the report that is, luckily for us, already being taken care of by the Department of Transportation. Next summer, we're going to see a significant amount of road work being done in our downtown. But something that will be happening as part of that project that they are already planning on is taking a few of our crosswalks and making them ADA accessible. So that will have the bump out with a bit more green space, and it'll make it a safer crosswalk in our downtown area. So that was suggested by the design team, something that we should pursue. Luckily for us, the Department of Transportation is already working on that. So the stakes that you see in the ground on a few of our corners right now are for a project that will actually start next spring. So all of these things, all of these small projects, all of these bigger projects that we hope to accomplish in the future, they require resources and they require grants. And as we look into these grants, something else that's in the works right now, the Chamber actually just applied to be a Connect community through the state of Wisconsin, through the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. As we apply for things like grants, the Lowe's Hometown Project, there's another one right now with T-Mobile to get technology brought to downtowns. As we apply for some of these things, it became clear that many of these organizations that are willing to provide funding and resources and education and training, they would really like to see an organization that is committed to the downtown district, a specific organization that they can turn to and they can say, these are the people in this town that are specifically looking to better the downtown area. So with that in mind, we are also forming a new organization. Downtown Three Lakes Rocks is the name of our new downtown revitalization organization. We are officially incorporated in the state of Wisconsin, and we are working on the IRS 501c3 designation right now. So this will allow grants to be applied for this, assuming we are chosen as a Connect community, which I'll talk a bit more about in a second. This is the organization that will take that over from the Chamber. The Chamber applied for it right now, but the Chamber is dedicated to all of Three Lakes and all of our businesses and marketing Three Lakes to tourists to come here. So not just to a dedicated downtown district. We had to put a map on this application. So having an organization outside of the town board, who obviously needs to think about all of Three Lakes outside of the Chamber, this will create an organization that is dedicated specifically to the borders of downtown. The board will be made up of business owners, stakeholders, and passionate volunteers. There will be crossover within the Chamber and a downtown business association. When we started talking about this, a few of us met with Eagle River. And Eagle River has a chamber, a downtown business association, and a downtown revitalization organization. They call it Eagle River Main Street. And they are able to work together. The synergy between those groups is a goal for us, to be able to work together in the way that their organizations have been able to work together. And then work together with the municipality itself, putting on events together. Everyone has the common goal of making Three Lakes succeed and making a vibrant downtown. So the Connect Communities program is kind of the little brother of the WEDC Main Street program. We are not going to qualify to be a Main Street community, but it follows the same 4 points approach for revitalizing your downtown. Those are economic vitality, design, promotion, and organization. So those will be the 4 guiding pillars of Downtown Three Lakes Rocks. If we are accepted into the Connect Communities program, that will connect us with resources. There's required training through the WEDC. And then when grants pop up that our contact at the WEDC knows that we would qualify for, they pass them on to us. So we don't have to constantly be out there looking for, do we qualify for this rural development grant? Do we qualify for this facade grant? Are we able to make more green spaces with this money? They will be able to connect us to some of those opportunities. Because so many of us are volunteers and we don't have the time or the space to be out there searching for all of this money. It's a great resource for us if we are accepted into that program. So this summer, you can also plan to find rocks around downtown. They will be painted. They will have on them hashtag Downtown Three Lakes Rocks. So if you find a rock this summer, take a picture, you, the rock, wherever you are in downtown, post it on your social media of choice with the hashtag Downtown Three Lakes Rocks, and then hide it somewhere else for someone else to find and do the same thing. So this will get photos of our beautiful downtown out on social media, and it will also raise awareness of our new organization. So if you would like to join us. We meet every other Thursday at 7 p.m. We are not the Early Risers Club. We also do not necessarily end promptly after 1 hour, though we are excited with the progress we have been making, and our conversations have been productive, and we are happy to keep talking at night sometimes. So my email address is on here. If you are interested in becoming involved with our new 501c3, you can also send an email, and we can connect you to the right place there as well. So if you have a passion for downtown, if there is a business that you would love to open and you don't know how, you don't know the resources, we are also working together with the other groups to help facilitate those things. So you don't necessarily need to have the skills to open the sandwich shop downtown, but if you have the passion for it, we can connect you with the leadership training, the economic development resources, or if you would like to fund someone's sandwich shop dream, we would also love to take your donations as soon as the IRS says we can. So thank you very much, and let me know if you have any questions.
I do have some questions.
Excellent.
All right. If you aren't involved in the group but want to follow developments, what's the best way?
So you can either email me, and I can email out our minutes that we are working on, what we work on every couple weeks. You can also sign up for the Forward Three Lakes newsletter. That'll get you developments for all of the working groups, but that is sent out fairly regularly, and we are putting a link to that actually this week on our website. It's not there right now. So you can shoot me an email, and I can send you our bi-weekly minutes.
One of the questions was, can I volunteer to make things like the wayfinding signs?
Yes, absolutely. As we go forward, there will be other projects like that we will be looking for manpower and volunteer hours. So again, send me an email, and we can get you connected in the right place.
Fantastic. Do you have an idea yet who will get put on the wayfinding signs, or is it kind of open to interpretation?
We do have a list. So a few of the things on there right now off the top of my head, and I have team members that are here, so if I forget something important, please tell me. The beach will be on there, because again, you could be sitting in the middle of downtown and not know that you could be walking down to the beach, the fishing pier, the museum, the track at the high school. If you're going this way, down Burnside Park and the trailhead are things you might not know that you could connect to. Once you're at the trailhead, you realize you can come to downtown, but you might not realize you could walk over to the trailhead. Am I missing anything? The Ryder Center, yes, is also over on that end of town. The Chamber and Cy Williams Park will direct you from this center of downtown down there. Post office, library. There are a few more things, but I have a list if you would like it.
All right.
Email me. That's my answer over and over.
Wonderful. Anything else, Erica? Nope, we're good on questions for that. So I want to thank you, and I'm going to do my closing statement real quick. So I want to thank everybody again for coming. I want to thank Neverland Productions, who has been helping the Three Lakes Center for the Arts do this amazing thing, this amazing hybrid that we are trying to do. Just a reminder that this is not our last Catena of the season. We have 2 more coming up in May. So actually next week already is our next one. So May 7th, we're going to be discussing natural resources, the natural resources team and the Cy Williams Park team and what those look like. So that's really exciting. And then May 26th, we have housing with Jill Roth, and we'll have growth and development as well. So I really highly encourage you to come to those, finish this series with us. And thank you again, Three Lakes Center for the Arts, the Forward Three Lakes teams, and everybody for coming. Have a great night.